Welcome to Yenko, Africa. My name is Ama. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope that you are having a good morning. And for those of you who have been tuned in, you know that I am presently in Togo, or at least at the time of this recording. It doesn't mean that I will not go back to Ghana at some time or other places, so stay tuned. But I am in Togo at this time, and I'll go into that more at another time. But good morning, or if you are in Togo, there are several languages that are spoken, but the main language that you'll hear people speaking that are in non-office settings will probably be Ewe or Mina or any of the other local languages. So if you wanted to greet someone good morning, you would say either Bonjour for good morning in French to non-English speakers, or you would say Ndi in Ewe. So in Ewe, good morning is Ndi. If you wanted to say good afternoon, you would say Bon Apre Midi in French, or you would say Indo. So in Ewe, good morning is Ndi, good afternoon is Indo, and for French it's Bonjour for good morning and Bon Apre Midi for good afternoon. But for you English speakers, good morning, good afternoon. I pray that you all are doing well. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so if you haven't already, go ahead and click the notification bell so that you can get notified each and every time I upload a share. All right, today guys, we want to talk about saving money, right? Okay, so for those of you who are trying to get out of the U.S., the most expensive, or one of the most expensive things that you will have to cover, costs that you would have to incur, is the cost of a COVID test. And you may have to take more than one. So I'm going to show you how you can get a free PCR test. That's right, free PCR test, and you can take it as many times as you want. Only one per day, but you can take one every day if you want. All right, so I would advise taking one more than if you're planning on leaving, take one day, then take one the next day, and take one the third day, or until you're about to leave, so you will always have an active PCR test. They also offer antigen test as well, and other tests too, but make sure you get the PCR and ask them if they work with AGIS. Okay, there's the LabCorp test, and then there's the AGIS test. All right, AGIS is the best, and you're going to get a QR code, and you're going to have everything that you need. Sometimes with the LabCorp, they run that antigen when they're supposed to give you a PCR. Okay, LabCorp, in my experience with them, is taking some shortcuts. So some of the pharmacies in your town may run AGIS, and some of them may run LabCorp. Try to find one that runs the AGIS test, and you'll be quite pleased with them. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this website right here. Most of us have heard of this company right here, Walgreens, and you're going to go there, and it's going to bring you to this page. Now, this is set to the store nearest you. You can change that to your city, but first you're going to click here. All right. And once you click here, now I do have to say that these tests are drive-through tests. All right, so it's for people who are taking the test via drive-through. All right, so it says schedule your drive-through test here. You're going to come here and click. All right, and then after you click here, guys, it's going to take you to this page. Now, I'm using a noise canceling headset, so you should not be able to hear any noise in the background, but if you do, just ignore it, because I do. All right, so yeah, but we'll discuss some things later. All right, but right now, let's go ahead and determine where you are. So when you get here, you're going to put in your city information, your zip code, and it's going to pull up places in your area. All right, so if you have a voucher for your employer, then you would do this, but typically this is just for people who want to get a free testing and who do not have a voucher. All right, and you don't have to be on any type of program or anything, and you can be from another state as well. All right, so this pulled up all of the locations in this zip code. and you see that you have the option for the PCR, you have the option for the NAAT, which some places take the NAAT, but if you can get that back in as little as 2 hours, unless you are leaving like right away and you are sure that all of your locations are going to accept the NAAT. Do not take it. The NAAT is let's just say a type of PCR test, but it's not the one that they most likely are looking for, where everyone takes it. Everyone takes the PCR laboratory test, okay? Everyone accepts that. Many people accept the NAAT, which is a type of PCR, but just to be safe, get this. This is the rapid antigen. Some people will accept that, but you need to make sure every airline and every transit location, if you have to make connections, will accept it as well. So to be safe, guys, get this right here, okay? But both of these, the NAAT and the antigen, both come back in 2 hours. All right, so if you wanted to schedule this one, all right, the PCR. After you do that, this map is going to populate. It's going to show you all the locations, and it's color coded by which tests are offered at these locations, right? So that's the map. But if you scroll down, look, it lists all of the locations in your city where you can get it. The all blue shows that they only offer PCR, and the mix shows that they offer both tests. All right, so let's just pick one. All right, just any one. We're gonna pick any one. We're gonna go out to the Bronx. Okay, we're going to the Bronx. All right, and we're gonna see what they are offering there. All right, so they do offer the NAAT and the PCR, which results typically available within 48 hours. I can tell you in my experience, and I took, guys, when I was in America, I took at least 15 tests. We'll go into that later. All right, at least 15 tests. All right, and so you can take this one if you take it, say, Monday. Usually by Tuesday, I would say midday. They have a portal where you can go and check and see if it's been received. It's usually received by Tuesday morning, and by Tuesday afternoon, evening, you'll get your results back. Okay, so depending on when your flight is and how soon you need to leave, this could be an issue. That's why I say take one day, then go back the next day and schedule another. Okay, remember, it's at no cost to you, and these typically cost about $200, guys. All right, and so you go here, you select the type of test you want. We want this one. We're going to schedule the date that we want to take it on. We're going to schedule it for, since this is the date, we're going to go out to this day. All right, tomorrow. All right, and let's see what they have available. And look, all of these times are available. If you need more time, this is what they have available. And usually this is a schedule. They usually close for lunch at all locations. So you see here at 1 to 2:15 p.m. they're closed. But if you want to get this as late as possible, you can go here and book that and then click continue. All right, and so now this is a timer. It's going to give you this much time, about 15 minutes to complete all of this, but it doesn't even take you about 5 minutes. Okay, so you see the time here. I went in and actually came up with an address, all right, to put in here so that it won't populate any of my personal information on the computer. Okay, so what you see here is my name. Last name, Apre. All right, this is my birth date. Not really, guys. All right, this is an address that I'm using, and this is an email address that I made up. So don't send a message here because I don't know who this is. All right, and this is a phone number that I also made up. They'll ask you this information. All right, you put that in there, and then you click continue. Now I'm going to go in here and delete this afterwards, right? But I'm just trying to show you what shows up. All right, so after this, it wants you to confirm the information that you put in. You confirm your name, all right, and confirm patient information is correct, and submit. All right, so now it's going to ask you if you have insurance. So in this case, so they will not bill your insurance if you do not have insurance. If you do, you need to put it in here and they're going to bill your insurance. But if you do not, then you put I do not. All right, and so then you put in your name and your driver's license number. So I'm going to pause this for a moment. I'm going to put some information in. Hold on. All right, so you see that I put in this as my state, and this is my driver's license number. Now notice the location where I chose to take the test is in an entirely different state, and it doesn't matter. Even if you're from another state, you can take a test in another location, okay? So this will also work. Say you fly, your connection is out of New York, and you want to get a test in New York instead of your home state, then you can go ahead and arrange it for that location where you're making your connection. Go and take your test, wait it out, and then fly from there if that's what you want to do. But it doesn't matter which state you're from. Just put in your correct home address and so on and so forth, okay? All right, so this is what I put in, and it just asked me if I understand that this information will be provided to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, uninsured program, and the off-site laboratory. So you click yes, and I authorize to act. After you've read this, give permission, all right, and then continue. All right, and this is how much time I have left. And then this is going to be a questionnaire, guys. All right, so you just fill this out. In the last 14 days, have you experienced any of these symptoms? And then you can say no, all right, or whatever your situation is, and then continue. All right, and then it goes on and it asks you a couple more questions. In the last 14 days, have you had contact with someone who has a suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19? Count any contact that lasted more than 15 minutes closer than 6 feet away. And you can say whatever the answer is and no, and then continue. All right, and then finally, are you seeking this test because you are either recently returned from travel or planning on traveling? So if you're coming back into the country, you can also take this as well. All right, and then you'll click yes and continue. All right, and then there's more questions. All right, actually there are 3 more. All right, and has a healthcare provider ever diagnosed you with any of the following? So if you have any of these health conditions or concerns, then you would select them. All right, and if not, then you would put none of the above and continue. And then it asks if you're pregnant, does this apply or no, and then you say whatever your answer is. And then have you had a COVID vaccine? You would answer yes or no, or prefer not to say. And then you can, just answer according to whatever your answer is. All right. And then have you tested positive for COVID-19 in the past? You can say whatever it is, yes or no. All right. And that's it, guys. And then it brings you to a summary page, and it confirms your test, the date and time, the location, your name, Ama Alcha, all right, your address, your email address, and your phone number. And if that is correct, you will go ahead and submit it. Now I'm going to go ahead and submit this. All right. And there it is. Your appointment is confirmed. Now, if you need to change this, or if you need to schedule another appointment, say for another family member, you go ahead and put that in there. If you need to edit your appointment or cancel your appointment, this is what you would do. This is the location. This is their phone number. I would call them beforehand and once again ask them if they have the AGS test or the LabCorp test. The LabCorp test is out there, but make sure LabCorp does the PCR and not the NAAT. That's why I say, it's best just to go ahead with the AGS. We actually missed a flight because they ran the NAAT and not the AGS, okay? AGS PCR test, all right? The PCR test, but AGS is the company, okay? So yeah, if you can go with a location that serves, that uses AGS, do that. And it's all the same Walgreens, but some of them use AGS, some of them use LabCorp. And in my opinion and experience, it's best just to go ahead with a location that uses AGS. All right, so I'm going to cancel this so someone else can get this appointment, but you see how easy it is, and it costs you absolutely nothing. All right, so cancel appointment, yes, cancel, it's canceled. All right, so guys, I hope this saves you. I know definitely will save you money, because those tests cost about $200, $150 to $200 now. You can take this, one of these, one per day, all right, per person. You can bring your entire family and take a test. They offer the drive-through option. In fact, that's the only option. Now, in some cases, I do think that some people are allowed to go in, but only in special circumstances, and you have to call them. But overall, it's a drive-through test only. All right. So I hope this helps. I know it will. I know it's going to save you money. And if you appreciate this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell if you haven't already. All right. Shalom. Thank you very much for tuning in, and peace. Love you all.